Welcome back to Eternal Wrestling. My name is Jordan, and I'm here with my co-host, AJ. Beautiful co-host. Say hi, AJ.
Hello.
And today we also have a special guest, my good pal, Adam, from our main channel. Say hello.
Yo.
There he is. He's come to give us some insight as he is here while we're recording. Usually he's not, but today he has made time to be with us. Everyone clap.
Thank you.
Yeah!
Thank you. Clap it up, everyone.
Okay. In today's video, we are going to be giving our predictions for the AEW pay-per-view Full Gear this Saturday. What is it, the 22nd? Or am I stupid?
It's the 19th.
19th. I can't do math. And
that's fine, man.
Yeah, it's good. It should be a good pay-per-view.
All right, let's just dive right into it. Yeah. First match. For the TNT Championship, they just announced it on this. We're recording this right after this week's Dynamite. Just announced the TNT Championship finally being defended on pay-per-view since All Out 2021. There's a fun fact for you.
Wow, crazy.
Wardlow defending against Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe in a triple threat match. So who does everybody got? Let's start with our guest first, Adam Dowd.
Hello.
Guest privileges.
Thank you. I'll go first. So this is an interesting match. The first time I'm finally seeing Wardlow defend the TNT title live, and that's an actual good match. It's not just thrown together. There's some plot to it. There's some excitement. Three big guys. They all have the ability to win the title here. For my pick, I'm going to pick Powerhouse Hobbs, because even though it would hurt Wardlow's career, I guess, just giving it up with so little defenses and so little hype during this whole TNT run, I'm going with Hobbs because I think Hobbs could go with a rivalry with Starks, but I think it would be an interesting feud seeing them fight one more time, and then hopefully they actually do something with him, maybe give him some good face matchup since he's a heel, and that's my pick to be the new TNT champion.
Good take. I don't think you can really have. I don't think there's a wrong answer here. All right, I think whoever wins is going to be a good decision, just because they're all great in their own right. Me personally, I have Samoa Joseph. I think we're getting double champ Samoa Joe. As you know, he was on hiatus for a while doing something for Peacock, I believe. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but I think it was a show. And he came back and he was tag teaming, I guess, with Wardlow for a bit and then turned on him. I thought that was a great decision because I was upset that they were friends. I was like, it'd be so sick if they'd fight because Samoa Joe's cool, Wardlow's cool, fucking fight. And then Hobbs is here now, so it's fucking big people fighting. It's gonna be great. This is like a WWE fan's wet dream. Bunch of big people just going at it. Yes, big men. But yeah, I have Samoa Joe, double champ. His heel run could be amazing. I love his heel work, and the promo he cut today was great as well. Yeah, I have Samoa Joe.
For my pick, I think this could go, like you said, I think this could go either way. I'd be happy if Samoa Joe won. I'd be happy if Powerhouse Hobbs won. I'd be happy if Wardlow won. But for me, since you guys picked Joe and Hobbs, I'm just gonna go with like what I feel is the safe pick and what's like differing between you two. I'm gonna go with Wardlow. So
yeah,
I feel like that's the safe pick. So.
I think a Wardlow win here could definitely help solidify his title reign because it's been kind of lackluster, especially all the momentum he had. So I think a win here would help, staple that in. So like I said, anybody wins, it's a good decision regardless.
I think there's just a lot of I feel like there's more opportunity for Joe and Hobbs to win because there's a lot of face mid-carders they can face that can elevate them to do something. Because heels, I feel like good heels can do whatever and they'll be good, but good faces need to face a strong heel such as Joe or Hobbs in order to solidify their legacies though. So I think it would be a better decision that Hobbs or Joe wins. But if Wardlow wins, maybe they'll find him an actual feud and not just have him thrown together.
Yeah, just random rampage matches.
The next match, the second match that was announced on Dynamite, the Death Triangle defending the World Trios Championships against the return of the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. So who does everybody got?
So this is interesting here. The whole dynamic of Death Triangle and Pac being a heel, but the Lucha Brothers being faces is an interesting aspect, I think, rather than having all be faces or all be heels.
Mhm.
The Elite, it was exciting, but unfortunately, when they did win the titles, we all know the story about what happened afterward, but when they did win the titles against the Dark Order, a lot of people weren't a big fan of that. A lot of people wanted to see Paige and the Dark Order winning the trios titles and seeing what they could do with them. I personally still wanted the Elite to win because I am a fan of the Elite. I'm a fan of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Those are some of my favorite guys in the company, and not just the company, in all of wrestling. The Young Bucks are my favorite tag team. Kenny Omega is definitely one of my favorite wrestlers. I think the Lucha Bros should go ahead into tag team ranks again on their own instead of the trios. They're putting on great matches, but I think Pac really needs to solidify himself as a solo guy, because when we saw him being a solo guy, when he was the first winner of the All Atlantic title, I was just not into it. The Orange Cassidy match I enjoyed, but other than that, I feel like the All Atlantic titles legacy, I guess, is just kind of going down the drain rather than being a solid mid-card title. So I'd like to see Pac maybe going to a mid-card to higher mid-card area to get feuds. And the Elite introducing him with the title win. Hopefully this time no backstage shenanigans happen. I'm going with the Elite to dethrone Death Triangle.
Yeah, I think that's the safe pick and the probably the most obvious one. The Elite are gonna retain, not only from I guess a kayfabe perspective, but also from like a real life perspective. They were kind of some people were kind of twist them to be the bad guy in the whole CM Punk situation, and after the investigation, clearly they weren't. So this also could be kind of like a hey, sorry, sorry for suspending you for so long. Here are your titles back. So. In both aspects, I do agree with Adam that it would be interesting to see the Lucha Bros go back to being a tag team without Pac. I like Pac. I think he can be a better solo star though, just because he's like a freak athlete for his size, obviously. And he could definitely do something in the mid card, maybe something with TNT title, with depending on who wins and all that. So yeah, I got the Elite here.
Yeah, I also have the Elite as well. Unlike you guys, I don't think the Death Triangle should break up. I think they're a solid trios team, and they've been a team for ever since AEW started, really, like in the very beginning. And
yeah,
I got the Elite to win. Maybe it sets up a thing with the House of Black, like the Elite versus House of Black.
Yeah, that would be really
they
good.
were teasing, there's videos with the House of Black as well, and I think that feud would be just a banger. So.
I don't necessarily. They don't have to necessarily have explode. I might have said something like that, but at least try to they could still be allies and stuff. But I don't want
I'm saying take a break.
Triangle.
I mean, they were
just
teasing
have Pac do his thing, have Lucha Brothers do their thing, and have Alex Abrahantes do nothing and be fired. That's all.
I mean, they were teasing Pac and Rey Fenix. There's tension.
That would be
there,
good. I think that'd be a really good match.
That'd be a flip-de-doo extravaganza.
Up my alley.
Oh yeah.
Flip-de-doos, baby.
So we're all in consensus that the Elite are winning
the Elite
that match.
Are gonna get their titles back.
So a steel cage match as Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus. I assume it was supposed to be Christian Cage in this spot, but Christian Cage is injured, of course. So Luchasaurus is taking his spot in the feud. Who do you got and why?
All right, so this whole situation with Jungle Boy Jack Perry and Luchasaurus has played out very interestingly, because when Christian Cage first came back, I know AJ really wanted, after a while, he wanted Christian Cage to turn his back on Jungle Boy Jack Perry and all that. And I'm very interested that they had Luchasaurus seem to be the right-hand man of Christian Cage, rather than just have Luchasaurus doing the face round, just being Jungle Boy Jack Perry's backup, because we wouldn't know what happened with Christian Cage. But I think this gives a good chance for one of the four pillars of AEW, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, to really separate himself as not only just a tag team guy, but he could do something by himself. Because normally, back when he was a tag team with Luchasaurus, he was looked at as the weak link. He was looked at as someone, if he was in a solo match, most likely he's going to lose that match. But a big win against Luchasaurus could help propel him, and then whenever Christian Cage gets healthy, might see him in the next pay-per-view, maybe the pay-per-view afterwards. We see Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Christian Cage. We'll see what happens with Luchasaurus. I like the story so far, but for the steel cage match, I gotta go with Jungle Boy Jack Perry going over Luchasaurus.
Yeah, and to piggyback off you, I agree. I think Jungle Boy, a win for him here will kind of, solidify himself and being a single star than a tag guy, just, to be looked at as that. I also like the fact that they're going to be calling him Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I know that was, I think, at the beginning, I believe. And then it kind of just went all Jungle Boy, but now it's back to Jungle Boy Jack Perry, which is good because gimmicky names like that are kind of, It's like Luchasaurus. I don't know how long.
Kind of pauses you. You can't just be a world champion being a dragon.
Yeah, like fucking dragon dude 48. Like, it's weird.
And a Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy is our world champion.
And like Luchasaurus too. Like, I don't know how long he's gonna be a dinosaur. I don't know how they would like stop that. That might just be his thing, but he might never win anything like crazy. And this feud has been going on for some time now. I feel like, I think this feud has been going on for some time. I think it's nearing its end, maybe not complete end, because they still need the Christian Cage Jungle Boy match, but maybe like kind of setting it to the side for a bit with the Jungle Boy win here. What do you think, AJ?
I think Jungle Boy takes the win here because he's been losing a lot in this feud. Like, he lost to Luchasaurus on an episode of Dynamite. He lost to Christian Cage at All Out. And I think just a really strong win for Jungle Boy here, the blow off to this feud, hopefully. Unless they, wait till, Christian Cage is, not injured anymore and they have one more match. But I think Jungle Boy needs this victory because he's been, he's lost a lot. So Jungle Boy for the win for me.
Nice. So we're all in agreement in the last two matches we did.
Yeah.
The only difference
so
we've had so far is the triple threat match.
Yeah, that's the only difference we have.
See if our decisions will change on the next match.
They most likely won't because it's a TBS championship match.
Yeah, I don't want to spend much time here. This so we can kind of.
Why don't you want to spend a lot of time? Is there a reason for this, guys?
It's obviously Jade's gonna win.
Yeah, squash.
Well,
Jade.
Okay, guys, let's announce it like a normal match. Go, AJ, bring it up.
The TBS championship is on the line as Jade Cargill defends against Nyla Rose.
All right, I got Jade Cargill winning here.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out with the hot take here. I'll be that guy. Jade Cargill.
All right, AJ.
Nyla Rose.
Oh god.
All right.
Cold take. Take the obvious
kidding.
one, I guess.
Jade to retain, of course. I don't know who she loses to.
I don't know.
Maybe Saraya.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the next match as well.
Oh,
Dr. Britt Baker,
segue.
DMD versus the returning from injury after, what was it, 5 years? 4 or 5 years?
It's been a while since I've seen her.
Been a while. Saraya, formerly known as Paige. What do you got and why?
This match could be very interesting, I think. This could be a match where people actually start to get interest in AEW women's wrestling. Now, to be fair, AEW women's wrestling seems to be on the decline of late. Whether that's the booking of it, which it probably is, or whatever it is, they need a boost. Possibly give them that boost to actually start caring about the women's division in AEW. I am a big Britt Baker fan. I was interested in the women's championship when Britt Baker was champion. I know people disagree. I know people are not big fans of Britt Baker. I am, because I think she's great on the mic and good enough in the ring. She's not amazing, but she's good enough to give you solid matches. Now, for this match in particular, I think it's very hard for AEW to just not give Saraya the win. For her to come back, hype it up, sign her to AEW, and to make her lose her first match. It is a big women's wrestler in AEW, to be fair. But I don't see how they have Saraya losing in her opening match, first time wrestling in 5-6 years, however many years it's been. So my pick for this match is Saraya.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Saraya is probably going to get the win here to kind of set the tone for this new hopefully new era, new time for the women's division that can elevate it, because like he was saying, it has not been the greatest. It's known that it's AEW's weak spot is definitely the women's division. That's one thing that the WWE can definitely say they have a better division in. And I think Saraya winning here can continue that and start that, because it's like Britt Baker was the old face of the women's division AEW, and it's like the new face Saraya, although being the more seasoned veteran. Kind of in a way, it's kind of like Punk coming, if you know what I mean. Like it was like Punk Hangman, how Hangman was like the AEW guy, and then Punk was the outsider coming in. It gives me very similar vibes to that. Hopefully it doesn't end the same way. Wait all that wait. Saraya winning here.
I have Saraya as well. I don't think she's just gonna lose her first match back after like 5 years. And that's all I got, really. All right, so the third match in the trilogy for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, The Acclaim defending against Swerve in Our Glory. Who do you got and why?
All right, what an amazing! The last 2 matches these guys have had, they've been entertaining. I loved them. I made the bet that if the Acclaimed win, and this was the second match, if the Acclaimed win the tag team championships, I get their shirt. They won. I ended up getting their shirt.
Hell yeah.
The Acclaimed, I love the Acclaimed, but Swerve in Our Glory is also very entertaining to watch. Swerve is very good in the ring. Keith Lee is a monster in the ring. The Acclaimed are the best team, are a great team. Not the best team, but they're a great team. Everyone loves them, like their catchphrase says. Billy Ass is having the most hype he's ever had in his career. He's so over right now. But deciding who wins this match is very interesting, because there's a few factors in this. Keith Lee and Swerve, they've been having back and forth. They showed tension, their team, many times in the past few months. Back into when they even won the titles. When they won the titles, it was shocking. I did not see Swerve in Our Glory winning it. It was also another great match. But Acclaim, Swerve in Our Glory, I think the Acclaimed are too over right now to take away the championships. Swerve in Our Glory would not be the worst decision to let them win, but at the end of the day, I'm saying the Acclaimed will retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships, and hopefully we'll see them go on another monster reign with them.
Yeah, I think the Acclaimed are going to win here. It's going to be a great match. Like you said, the previous 2 have been absolute bangers. It's crazy how good. It was out of nowhere, too. I feel like, everyone loved the Acclaim, and they're great on the mic, great charisma, but the actual wrestling, like I was like just icing on top. Now the tag division in AEW is probably the strongest in the company, you can argue, and it is very unpredictable. As like he said, when Swerve in Our Glory won, it was like, what? Now obviously they won because the Elite went to go win on the Trios Championship, but still that was pretty shocking. Didn't expect that. Even Swerve in Our Glory winning the #1 contender match, I didn't think they were gonna win that. I thought it was gonna be FTR, but they ended up winning that. So now they're here for Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaim Part 3. I think the Acclaim retain, as they're so over, and I think this also sets up the Swerve and Keith Lee feud eventually, so they can separate, and then it probably sets up FTR versus Acclaimed, and then that whole thing's gonna happen. So yeah, I got the Acclaimed winning here.
Yep, I got the Acclaimed as well. They're just the most They're just the most over act in the company, arguably. Actually, not really arguably, but yeah, they're the most over act.
Yeah, I mean, them and AJF are both so over.
Yeah. So yeah, the Acclaimed are one of the most over acts in the company. Also, Swerve beat Anthony Bowens in a singles match on this Dynamite, which usually in wrestling, if the challengers beat like the champions, like on the go home, they usually lose in the actual title match.
Look at this guy using stats.
I got the Acclaimed to.
I got the stats here.
I got the Acclaimed to retain
the stats guy.
World Tag titles. Alright, so now the next match, the Ring of Honor World Championship match. Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, the Ocho. Bryan Danielson.
God.
The Ocho, Bryan Danielson.
The Ocho, Bryan Danielson.
Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy fucking Guevara. Who do you got and why?
Woo!
Alright. I'm a big Sammy guy.
Oh boy.
Oh, here we have to go.
Alright. Anyway. This is tough.
Yeah, that's weird.
I always wanted Bryan Danielson to win a world title in AEW. And I think their best chance they had was when it was Mox versus Bryan Danielson at the end of the tournament. They have Bryan put over. I wanted him to win. They gave it to Mox. It's not an awful decision. Either people winning would have been fine. It was Mox, not Danielson. I honestly don't see another time where Danielson can win the world title, at least in the foreseeable future. It may be later down the line, but I think Bryan Danielson's starting to settle down. If you want to give him the world championship, I think this is your best time to do it. Ring of Honor, he's a big Ring of Honor guy. He could help the legacy of the Spelt even more than the Ocho. I know it's hard, but I got Bryan Danielson coming out as the new Ring of Honor world champion in this match.
Yeah, I think I got Bryan Danielson as well. For all the points you pretty much made, this is the best time for him to win a world title in the company, especially with what's going on with the AEW world title. It was surprising that he won. Even Danielson winning is kind of because it's the Ring of it's weird. It's a whole thing. It is gonna be weird until they separate finally. And the other contenders in this match, like Claudio had his run. I don't think there's gonna strap right back on him. Sammy Guevara is Sammy Guevara, and Chris Jericho. It would be very Chris Jericho-esque to win it back because he's been like that. This whole reign and feud has just been. I don't want to say a pain to watch, but I mean it kind of has been personally. I haven't most interested I've been was the Bandito match because we were seeing Bandito in AEW, and that was a great match. But yeah, I'm trying to. Is it Danielson? Because it's either Danielson or Jericho retains. Like Claudio and Sammy aren't gonna win it. I'm gonna say Danielson, and I'm praying for a DG redemption, a DG interference. Somehow, DG, do something. Stop sitting in the back and just be who you are, please.
Link to our last video.
Yes, watch that video. You haven't. It explains why I'm so upset. It's just. I'm pissed now. I'm moving on. Danielson's winning.
All right. Well, I got Jericho to retain. I'm looking at this as like a business standpoint. I think TK wants Jericho to be like the guy because Final Battle's coming up soon. I think he wants Jericho as the champion, so it'll up the buy rates for Final Battle. So I got Jericho to retain. Yeah.
Actually, if you look at the percentages in 2 weeks from now,
don't look at stats. Look at your heart.
It's good. It's a good dynamic.
I still got Jericho to retain. I'll see Danielson winning the Ring of Honor world title again. Yeah. Claudio just lost it, and Sammy Guevara's.
Sammy Guevara.
Guevara just wins it and shocks the world.
Shocks the world. He has amazing world title reign. He's the type of guy to win it and then like throw it in the trash.
A match not involving Sammy Guevara. Sting and Darby Allin versus the team of Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett.
Can I go first here, Adam?
No.
Please.
I have one word for this.
Yeah! Woo! Hell yeah!
Sting and Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Now, I actually have been a big fan of what they're doing with Jay Lethal. Normally, with signings, like the last few months or like the year, they would sign a big guy and then just have him just be irrelevant. Sometimes they have him be big, sometimes they have him be irrelevant. Jay Lethal seems to have always been relevant since his signing. Like he was always in a match.
Yeah, he's always doing something.
He's doing something, and I really appreciate that. Like, I am a big Jay Lethal guy. Now, this match, when Jeff Jarrett showed up to AEW, I was shocked. I was like, what are they doing here? And now they're doing this old school match of Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett teaming against Sting and Darby. Honestly, the Ric Flair thing that I think is going to come in. Sting or Jeff Jarrett, it's up to you. I want to say Darby and Sting win because Jay Lethal has beaten Darby, and I think Yeah, I'll go with Sting and Darby Allin. I think they should just keep the old guys away from it. I think Sting's still cool, but I think they need to keep Jeff and Rick out of this. I think having Jay Lethal do his thing and Darby do his thing is fine with Sting, but yeah, I got Sting and Darby here.
Yeah, like my good pal said, woo! Woo! He's coming back, baby. He's gonna be all elite. That's who's winning this match. That's it. No, on a serious note, I don't know who's winning, and be honest with you, I don't really care. I do like Jay Lethal. I like Darby Allin. I like Sting. Jeff Jarrett. I was very confused on why they signed him. It seems like TK was going this route where it's like, we're a serious wrestling business with, you know, we want to compete with the best. We're going to do it on our own. We don't need these, you know, old guys from these old times, 80s, 90s, you know, to fuck up everything and get in our business and, you know, try to make it like their way. And Jeff Jarrett is probably the logo for that shit. And it's just weird to have him here. And then having Ric Flair here, because it's like, dude, if this is a one-off, what's the point of a one-off? What your audience for AEW is not that same audience, I feel like. Now, this is a WWE thing. That makes sense. That audience is there because the fans of AEW are in that range where they're not super young, so they're WWE, but they're not old enough to be the, you know, 80s, be around like for like the 70s, 80s, 90s wrestling, like being like a full-on adult for that. I feel like AEW's range is between like the 16 through like 30, maybe 16, you know, like that age area. And having these here, just, it really does nothing. It's just like my good pal AJ brought up buy-in rates, because it's like you can see it coming, anybody can see it coming, and if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. But I'd be very surprised. Who I have winning? No, I'm Sting and Darby Allin, I guess. I don't know.
I also have Sting and Darby. I hope to God that Ric Flair doesn't actually show up.
This guy doesn't know wrestling.
I don't really care about this match. It should be fun for like the nostalgic like TNA fans, but like
the audience isn't there.
It's Darby.
Audience isn't there for this, man.
I'm here.
The AEW Interim Women's World Championship match. Toni Storm defending against Jamie Hayter. Who does the Dowd got and why?
Sasha Banks cashes in on the winner of this match and becomes the new champion. Thank you.
Nice.
No, Toni Storm. I'm sorry, guys. I was blanking on this one. This one I'm just not very interested in.
You're good. If you want, you can just say your thing and just go on.
How about this? Toni Storm's the champion. I think she'll retain here against Jamie Hayter. Not because Jamie Hayter's bad, but I just think Toni Storm will have a longer run and have the unifying match against Thunder Rosa in the future. I think Thunder Rosa might make a preview here, might make a return, might make something, because I think they want to form the Toni Storm Thunder Rosa match for another pay-per-view. Yeah,
that's a good point. I was leading Jamie Hayter until you did say that, because I honestly totally forgot that Thunder Rosa was the women's world title. I don't know, just blanked on me that she's gone. Her reign hasn't been the greatest. I think her best match, Thunder Rosa's at least, was probably against Serena Deeb. I really liked the match. A lot of people didn't. I thought it was really good. Anyways, not the point. Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter. It's fresh in my mind. Just seeing the Toni Storm Anna Jay match. That was something. That was wrestling. That was a match. I don't know much about the bunny. I don't know much about Anna Jay, but the bunny not being there, holy shit, it made a difference. It made a difference. And I don't think Toni Storm's a bad wrestler by any means. I think her opponent was just not good. I think she's been fine. She's been having an okay reign, nothing crazy, nothing too bad. It's been filled with tag matches that have been all incredible, clearly. Even one teasing Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker, you know, not being together anymore. But here we are. They're still together for whatever reason. Yeah. I have... My heart really wants Jamie because she deserves it. She's done a lot of work. She is a very good wrestler and should not be under Britt Baker's shadow. But I'm hoping that even though Toni Storm wins, Jamie Hayter can get out of her weird tag with Britt Baker for whatever reason. So yes, I have Toni winning, but I think Jamie Hayter will be right back very, very soon.
All right. For me, I got Tony Storm to retain. I don't see Tony Storm dropping the belt to Tater as much as I would like for that to happen. I do think she holds it until the inevitable Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm unification match that was supposed to happen at All Out, but of course Thunderstorm succumbed to injury, so Tony Storm to retain.
We're all pulling for Jamie, but the reality is Tony's gonna win.
And finally, the main event, the AEW World Championship match, Jon Moxley versus MJF.
MJF should come out. He should. Like,
Yeah, he should come out.
That's what I want. That's what I think should happen. Now, I'll have MJF as my prediction, but I would like to add, I could see a few routes this going. I could see MJF doing what happened with Paige and Punk, and MJF, like, he's starting to become good, and then right when everyone expects him to do his heel thing, he actually stays good, and Jon Moxley takes advantage of that. And wins, and then Regal and Moxley help become heels, and they could start facing face challengers. But I want MJF to win. I could see that happening, something like that happening, and they could also go to Starks Moxley. I could see that could be very good as well, because Starks MJF, they're both faces, I'm assuming, in this situation, if MJF doesn't turn heel. If MJF turns heel like a lot of us might think he is, again, I think he's coming out, basically, is what I want to say. But, yeah.
Jon Moxley versus MJF. I think I got MJF coming out in this one. It should be a great match. MJF, I feel like, was the original one to dethrone Mox before, Punk and all that happened. I think it was supposed to be him dethroning CM Punk, my bad. So I think we continue that plan, but instead of Punk, we get Mox. Hopefully, I really, really, really do want MJF to win. As much as I love Mox, and Mox has had an amazing run both times because he has been the leader this company dreadfully needed. No shade to Kenny Omega or anything, because he is a great face as well. But Jon Moxley has really engulfed the soul and the grittiness of AEW, and I think this could end in a way where MJF stays face and it ends, and it's kind of like a symbolism of Moxley passing down what it means to be the AEW world title to MJF, and I think he carries that. Not to the point where it's because MJF's always gonna be snarky. He's always gonna be a little dickhead, regardless of where he stands on the meter. But I think it'll be kind of like a symbolism for him passing down that face of the company type thing. And I think it could still work even if Ricky Starks win the previous match, that they can go at it, because I think they both can work as double faces and being great coming at each other. I think that could still work between the two because they're both that talented, I feel like, on the mic. So I don't think, at least first feud, one necessarily has to be face, one necessarily has to be heel. I do have MJF winning this one.
I also have MJF winning the world title. I think that was the plan all along. I think what was supposed to happen was CM Punk versus MJF at Dynamite Grand Slam, the match in the third match in their trilogy, but that of course didn't happen because CM Punk had to hate the Elite for some reason. And then I think plans are gonna go ahead with MJF. That's the overarching story, his arc basically. MJF will win the title, probably have hold it for a year until 2024. That'll be a story. Is he gonna drop the belt before his contract is up? Maybe takes it to WWE. Probably not though. But yeah, MJF to win the championship and cap off this glorious pay-per-view. So
yeah, this pay-per-view has a lot of potential to be very good, but it also has a lot of bust potential.
I think the highlights are definitely going to be the steel cage match, the tag team match for the championship, the MJF match.
Yeah,
those are the big three.
Definitely, those three should definitely hit. Hopefully, the other ones can follow suit.
Don't forget the trios match and
the trios match too.
Beefy TNT title match.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nice,
that was
big buff men.
Love men.
That was Full Gear 2022 predictions. Thank you all for watching.
So thank you guys for watching. If you please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps a lot. The channel is doing great on views. But now you guys are subscribing, guys. Come on, stay around. We're gonna be doing this thing.
Graphic of how many people.
Oh yeah, I'll be that guy. See you guys in the next one. Take care.
Peace.